All right, 3, 2, 1, boom. And we are back. Stony Creek Revival. Hope you've been enjoying the songs and been enjoying a little bit of insight on how these songs came about. The next song that you're going to be hearing is Pave A Way. 3 words. Written by Steve Valenzuela and myself in 1978. Actually, I think I'm wrong. 1977. I had to find the date on 1977. So this was fairly early. Steve, you would have been still around. Do you have any remembrance of us messing with this in the old studios?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But my more as with most of my memories, they're sporadic at best. Um, but yeah, I do remember this one, and I until I saw this, I was always under the impression that Val had written it. Because it was kind of a different style than what I was used to coming. I was used to more of the rock coming from Gordon, and so this one I thought, okay, maybe that's Val, but I got to say that in listening to this song and doing the video for it, uh, on more than one occasion I wanted to cry.
Oh,
It is a very heartfelt and almost painful song, but it's beautiful at the same time.
well, of
So I
course.
congratulate you on that.
All right.
And um,
Again, like Mark kind of said, as a songwriter, you want to move people with your songs if you can.
yeah,
Some of our songs may drive you into madness. Some may drive you out of the room. Some may drive you to kiss your significant other. This song was about heartbreak and heart and breakups. Steve Valenzuela was in love with one of our cousins. I don't think I should say her name. Okay.
no,
And was rejected. I too had a boyhood crush on a girl,
on somebody.
on somebody, and I too was rejected, and therefore it made a ripe fruit to put into the soup can of this song, and it was all about childhood angst. I loved the melody. It was really evenly mixed musically and
Lyrically.
lyrically. Thank you, Matthew. Between Valen and I, generally, what Valen sang was what he wrote, and what I sang, I wrote. Of course, now I'm singing most of it with my brother backing me up. But the first part of the song was basically his, and the second part was mine. Of course, with equally each other. I will say that I love the melody so much, but the feelings of those days were gone. I rewrote it as a song called Camelot, and for Debbie, because that's how I felt about her, to honor her, and that'll be coming up eventually, a rewrite of this one. But in light of what we were talking about earlier, we decided, even though some of these songs we did rewrite, we wanted to keep this in its pure form. And so I'm glad it came across, Steve. Now, oddly enough, we had someone that we love very dearly. We learned that he is gravely ill, and as Matthew and I were going through this song, where it talks about time seems to pave a way, push away everything. And suddenly, as you said, Steve, it has more meaning now for even Matthew and I are thinking about this other band that we love very much, been a big part of our lives, is not doing well. And so, yeah, you can take the song way beyond its intended lyrical meaning.
A couple things about the recording of this were interesting because I remember hearing an interview with Billy Joel one time when he was saying that he wrote all of these songs when he was in his 20s and early 30s, where he could hit these really high notes, and then all of a sudden he got into the 40s and he couldn't make it. He says sometimes the old Billy Joel hates the young Billy Joel. and Gordon especially was having a hard time because there's some pretty high notes on there that he hit in 1980, and he couldn't hit him anymore. And so then that's when he brought me in, and we kind of reimagined the vocals into these harmonies so that they would be able to match up, because I've always had a higher and whinier voice than my brother, and so I could hit the high notes, and that's what we did. And then it also became the battle between my brother and I, because I like schmaltzy stuff. I love strings. I love lush presentations. And Gordon likes 3/4 of the truth, by and large, and keeping things really simple. And I wanted to put some lavish strings on here, and he's like, no, we're not having it. And so he acquiesced to let me leave like a Hammond organ patch, kind of doing a string type of a sound, and he let me to get away with it.
Okay, I'm not going to put up with this. So here's the deal. I wanted a 70s sound. And Matthew always liked to say I didn't like the Rhodes. I don't like the Rhodes on half the songs they were playing in the 70s. It didn't mean I didn't like the Rhodes sound. And so I wanted the Rhodes in here. I wanted it to, and I love DJ, who's sitting behind us over here. She even mentioned, hey there, DJ, thank you for coming in. Mark even said that she made a comment that, wow, that sounds like something from the 70s. He said, hello, that's us. And
tight shorts and everything.
But you said you didn't want it to sound like Engelbert Humperdinck.
I did not. That's what you do with your song.
Okay, can I interrupt?
Okay, please do.
Can I interrupt? I'm going to interrupt anyway. What I really like about this song, just so you guys can have time to simmer down a little bit, is that I get that from my wife all the time. She'll listen to it. She goes, "That sounds like the '70s," and I'm like, "Hello,"
Thank you.
But what I love about this song is it's about unrequited love. And really, when you think about it, who hasn't felt that at some point in their life? I think it can identify with a lot of different people on that level. As far as the individual you were talking about that we recently got some bad news about, I used to work with him secularly. I got to know him very well. I cared deeply for him. And I did start crying the first time I heard this song after I'd heard that.
Yeah, it does bring that back, doesn't it?
Yeah. Getting back to Valenzuela, about the day that I realized the title is not Pave A Way. It is Pave A Way. It suddenly it changed meaning for me as far as, just like, plow it down, get rid of it. It's not what it means. And I don't think, have to ask him personally, but to me, what it means is basically find a way. Yeah, your heart's broken. Find a way to get past it. So that's what it means to me.
I mean, the title.
And that was, you nailed it, Steve. And Valen came up with that phrase. That was not my phrase. Because I said, when we were writing it, I said, time seems to fade away. That was what I wrote. And he goes, you hear songs like that all the time. And then he came with Pave A Way, like a concrete road, steamroller. Not to divert from what's it, but to push through a new path.
Yeah. There you go. Make a new path.
Exactly. Pave paradise and put it in the parking lot. And so so that was Steve's.
Okay, Joni.
So very neat that you saw that.
Yeah.
Marcus, anything to add on that one, babe?
Well, you guys are talking about a song called Pave A Way, and I only know it as Camelot. And it came to me at a time when I was ending a relationship for 32 years and kind of needed affirmation about being loved and being a loved person who can be loved. And Gordon gave me this song and told me it was about me. And so kind of gave me what I needed to get through really tough times in my life. So I love the song as Camelot, but I love the song.
And
it's a different song to me now. It means something different.
And I think looking at this group that's sitting here right now, I think the idea of finding that song that can help you get through the garbage. I think that's
Absolutely.
kind of what we're all about. So
Yep, absolutely. Take us home, Mark.
I think I need a couch to lay back on. This is like getting intense. Well, Pave A Way it's a beautiful song, whether it's heartbreak or find a way or whatever you have to do. This is such a beautiful song. It was wrote by Gordon and Steve Valenzuela, who, it was a big part of our band back when we were kids. And what I really like about it is there's like an early Beatle-esque sound to the vocals. They did a really nice job of doing some nice harmony where it captures the early Beatles harmony, and it's so cool. But I think this is one song that I think will be people will like.
A fan favorite.
A fan favorite. Yeah.
Very relatable, like you said, Steve. Who hasn't felt unrequited love?
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
who of us in this room hasn't been kicked in the teeth at least once? You know.
Indeed.
So to quote,
Who are we quoting now?
Berthold Auerbach.
Who?
Berthold Auerbach. He said, "Music washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life."
Oh, that's a good one.
And
that is a good one.
that kind of puts it in a nutshell. So if you find solace, if you find therapy in what we're doing, and you like what we're doing, you know what? Come along on this ride with us. Rock our subscribe bar. Give us a thumbs up and ring our bell because we want to hear from you, okay? Because if you do all that, we guarantee we may get
Another
Another nickel.